Why are you saying this? Because I'm tired of begging for scraps of truth.
I
Said, if you're leaving, then leave. But if you're staying, then stay. Fully. Really? Stay. For the first time in months, she had no quick reply. Her eyes softened, and something in her expression fractured. Maybe she finally realized I wouldn't run after her anymore. I leaned back, exhausted. Go ahead,
Sarah.
walk away. But know this. Every step you take away from me tonight is one you can't erase tomorrow. Her fingers loosened on the doorknob.
The
Ticking clock filled the quiet between
us.
She stood still as if each beat of that clock was pushing her toward a choice she wasn't ready to
Face.
Eventually, she whispered, "You're not
Supposed to say things like that. Why? Not?
I asked. Because it's real. Her eyes held mine for a long moment.
And for.
The first time I caught the flicker of fear in them. Not fear of me, but fear of what she might lose if she left. And that's when everything shifted.
She
Released the doorknob and stepped back, her purse slipping from her shoulder and landing on the floor with a faint thud. For a moment, she only stood there, her breathing shaky, eyes shifting between me and the door like she was torn between the version of herself that wanted to run and the one that knew how to stay.
You
Always do this, she said finally, her voice quivering. You say things that make me feel guilty. I'm not trying to make you feel anything, I replied.
I'm
Just done acting like we're okay. Her gaze wavered, and I could see the fight draining out of her. She rested against the wall, arms crossed like armor.
You
Think I don't hate this?
You
Think I haven't tried? Tried what, Sarah? I asked. Tried to talk, tried to listen, or just tried to see how far you could push before I stopped caring.
She flinched.
That's not fair. Neither is walking out on someone who's been standing right next to you, I answered. The words lingered in the air. They had a sting to them, but also something gentler beneath, a tiredness that had been growing for years. For a while, we stayed silent. I could hear the wind brushing against the window,
The
soft hum of a streetlight outside. The house felt too wide, too still. When she finally spoke again, her voice was
faint.
It's not another man. I didn't respond. I just watched her, waiting for the truth that always came
Late.
It's me, she said quietly. I wake up, and I don't know who I am anymore. I remember the exact sound of the door latch clicking that night. It wasn't loud, but it carried a kind of finality
To it.
the echo of something closing, something quietly tearing apart.
The air.
In our living room felt stiff, as though it was holding its breath. Where are you going? I asked, keeping my tone
Steady.
Sarah didn't face me right away. She stood near the doorway, phone in her grip, purse dangling loosely from her shoulder. Out, she said eventually, her voice short, dismissive. Out where?
I pressed.
She exhaled, the way people do when their decision is already carved in
Stone.
I just need distance. Michael, don't turn this into something worse.
For a
Moment, I almost let her walk away.
it
Would have been easier to skip the fight, to let the silence stretch through the
night. But something inside me, something.
tired of being treated like a shadow, refused to stay quiet.
Distance, I said.
You've had distance for months, Sarah. You've lived in this house, but you've been somewhere else. That made her turn. Her face was calm.
Too calm.
You think this is just on me? She asked. You think you've done everything right? No, I said, shaking my head slowly.
But I've
Been here. You stopped being mine long before tonight. Her lips parted as if to fire something back, but nothing came. Instead, she lowered her gaze to her
Phone.
the glow from the screen washed her face in ice. I inhaled deeply.
Who?
Is he? The question shattered the air, like glass striking tile. She didn't flinch, but her grip on her phone
Tightened.
You're overthinking, she whispered. Not everything is another man. Then tell me where you're going. I don't owe you that, she snapped, her voice cracking mid-sentence. You're not my keeper, Michael. I never asked to own you, I said
Softly.
I just wanted to be your home. That made her still. The silence that followed wasn't calm. It was heavy, full of years and buried moments hidden under forced smiles. I saw her jaw clench, her eyes shimmering with something caught between guilt and resentment. You don't
Get it, she muttered.
This place feels like a cage. Caged by what?
I asked. By.
Me, or by the life we built together? Her quietness spoke for her. I sank onto the couch, the one where we once drifted to sleep watching movies on slow Sundays.
I
Stared at the hollow beside me, the shallow curve still shaped like her. I used to think love meant honoring promises, I
said.
But now I know it's choosing to stay when every reason tells you to leave. Sarah's hand trembled faintly as she reached for the doorknob again. I just need one night, she murmured. One night. For what? I asked. To decide if you still love me, or to decide if he's worth it. Her eyes flickered. The look someone has when the truth finds them first. I can't do this now, she whispered. Yes, you
can, I answered.
Because leaving doesn't fix what's broken. It only confirms it. She faltered, her fingers digging into her purse strap.